and, you know, pulling out Drake's schlong for my gob for one moment, let's talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk, baby mum, Ashley St. Clair, 26, launches a tirade on the billionaire as he reposts Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have no idea what's going on right now, but let me give you a summary. Ashley St. Clair is like this right-wing talking head person. She's in America, obviously, and she's one of those right-wing hot girl talking head people. She's also she also, you know, pushes the whole tradwife thing, which is basically conservative women pushing the idea of being a traditional wife and settling down with one man, being a stay-at-home mom, all that sort of stuff, right? But mostly it's because she's hot and she says like dicey, fiery, you know, controversial things on social media. People kind of follow her on there. Well, it seems like she's actually had a secret baby with Elon that she kept, you know, to herself for the past 5 months. She announced on social media, and then everyone obviously was like, you know, shocked by this announcement because it meant that now Elon has 13 kids by 4 different women. And obviously it kind of is a bit against the stance that she stands on in terms of being a trad wife, because she had this baby out of wedlock, and it seems like her and Elon aren't in any sort of relationship. But then it got really, really funny because Elon then replied to a post by Milo Yiannopoulos, a guy that used to work for Yeezy and is also a bit of a controversial figure himself in the right-wing space. He posted a screenshot that showed that this Ashley St. Clair woman had been talking about Elon and kind of plotting to have Elon's baby from time. And then he quoted and said, oh, whoa, like super surprised. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. So it made it seem like Elon found out he got trapped on social, which is not true. Most likely he knew already what the deal was, but he made it seem like that. He played into that kind of, you know, meme. So Ashley St. Clair replied to that on Twitter in public and basically said, hey, we've been trying to reach out to you. Me and my team have been trying to get in contact. I haven't heard from you whatever weeks, which immediately gave people the impression, oh shit, like Elon's not only a deadbeat dad, this woman's obviously trying to get in touch with him and he's making no effort to kind of holler back. So that kind of made the whole story sound really funny. But it is kind of sad as well, because at the basis of this, there's a kid who's going to get basically, you know, who's going to bear the brunt of this already very toxic relationship. And it also makes me look at Elon a bit of a different way. You know, I don't really have any patience or any room for remorse or understanding when it comes to deadbeat dads. I think it's diabolical if you're a dude and you end up busting inside somebody and take no responsibility for raising that child. I also think it's basically impossible for Elon to be a good dad if he's got 13 kids across 4 baby mums. I honestly do think it's literally impossible. So that stuff kind of makes me see him in a whole different light. And the Ashley St. Clair girl, she's kind of looking a bit stupid because it feels like she was under the impression that she would be the person to make him settle down and to make him choose her, when it seems like he's more preoccupied with repopulating the earth and spreading his seed. He seems to be not really that interested in settling down anybody, and it seemed like she didn't get the memo, or maybe he gassed her up and sold her a dream, who knows. But she's also going out kind of sad. So all in all, everybody looks like they're going out sad in this situation. And like I said, I think the one that suffers the most is going to be the poor baby. But this is the screenshot for courtesy of Milo. Milo's also been on this girl's bumper because her and Milo and this Ashley St. Clair girl have had a long running feud. So Milo's loving dancing on this girl's grave and kicking her while she's down. So Milo posted this screenshot that features Ashley St. Clair going back and forth with this guy called Greg Price in 2020 of May. And in the tweet, she says, I need to get Elon Musk attention for a marriage proposal. Please, Greg. Greg replies back and says, he's got a kid with a woman already. Seems unlikely to work out. She replies to Greg and says, well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast. So she was already plotting, it seems like, for Elon's attention or for Elon's seed since 2020. And then Elon replied to that screenshot with whoa, which made it seem like he found out he got trapped on social, which made everybody laugh, myself included. She then saw that reply and posted this on social, which she ended up deleting because it looked really sad. And she said, Elon, we've been trying to communicate for the past several days and you've not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in underwear at 15 years old? So it seems like Elon is running away from responsibilities and ducking this girl's phone calls. and basically leaving her out in the lurch. She then replies to that with another tweet and says the following: "It's interesting that Elon is responding to this clearly in jest screenshot that was discussed with his team months ago in a documented call. Now he decides to respond to it publicly from an account that posted underage photos of me as if he wasn't asking me to have more children last week." Whoa. "I would like to take this offline for our children's sake and have been attempting so for weeks." So the first thing to note here is that clearly Elon is just like a dude, like every other dude out there, and he sells girls' dreams. So he was likely, I believe, telling this girl that he loves her, telling this girl that she's the one, I choose you, I want to settle down with you, I want to put more babies inside of you, I want to put a ring on your finger. I'm sure he said that to her. He probably didn't need to say that to her to get her to fuck, maybe, because it seemed like she was into Elon from time. But I definitely feel like he definitely was selling her dreams, which is why she's reacting that way. Because I don't think women react this way out of nowhere. There are some crazy women that just get attached merely because you fucking look their way. But I think most women get attached and start to fantasize about a perfect Disney fucking story because you give them a Disney story in the first place. You give them a script. They just fucking put it in production. You get what I mean? And obviously she says here that they discuss having more kids. And also the other thing to point here is the first line where she says that he knew about that screenshot before they got together, which is obviously makes sense because you'd imagine if you're Elon, you probably have a team, which is really creepy and the opposite of romance, right? But I'd imagine if you're Elon, you probably have a team of people who probably vet the people that you want to be in a relationship with, right? They probably vet them. So they go through their socials, they do background checks, whatever else it may be, criminal checks to make sure the person's all kosher before you engage in anything romantic with them. You'd imagine, especially if you're a billionaire, that'd probably be good op spec or due diligence on that regard. But she said that she wanted to keep, this stuff private and keep it offline, which is weird because she then went around and sold her story to the New York Post, aka the Daily Mail, which again goes against her being private and wanting to keep this off her social. And also, I think it's an example or representative that she's probably struggling for money. Because in this article, it does point out that Elon has supplied her with an apartment in Manhattan that she's currently in. But the fact that she's doing this story or selling her story to the New York Post, aka the Daily Mail, is for me an indication that she's probably struggling for money to hold outside of having her rent paid. Most likely that house is probably already paid for. If you're Elon and you love fucking randoms raw and getting them pregnant, you probably have a bunch of cribs that you put these girls in. Really wild, I'd imagine, but I'd imagine most likely you have a bunch of cribs where you have these girls, you host them there, and then you turn up, go to Pound Town, and you keep it moving. You know what I mean? If they want to stay, they can stay, but that's what you kind of do. But you don't give them any money. There's no stipend, there's no nothing. They have to figure that out themselves. So I think most likely that's why she sold her story to the New York Post. But the headline is, Ashley St. Clair influencer who claims to have Musk's 13th child reveals life of secrecy after whirlwind romance with down-to-earth billionaire. So this is her selling her story to the New York Post. This is I guess these pictures were taken in that apartment recently. So she's clearly had the baby already. It says conservative influencer who claims to have given birth to Elon's 13th child spoke publicly for the first time on Saturday about her alleged relationship with the billionaire ex-owner, which she claimed began in her DMs. In an exclusive sit-down with a glitzy Manhattan pad on Saturday, Ashley St. Clair claimed to the Post that the 53-year-old Tesla and SpaceX mogul is funny, down-to-earth, but said that he wanted to keep their baby secret for everyone's safety. That's dumb, to be honest, because it's not safety. He wanted to keep it secret because he didn't want anyone knowing that he's fucking random reply girls on social media. Which is also kind of funny because you don't really see that often, I don't feel like. I feel like you see more reply guys responding to hot girls on Twitter, but you don't really get to see the other way around. So that's quite funny, I guess. But I guess maybe it does happen a lot in the conservative space or just any kind of niche. Because I guess I just post and just, read stuff. I'm not really in tune with people. But maybe it happens in all niche communities. Maybe this is the thing. Maybe like people are all fucking, behind the scenes. You never know. St. Clair asks to keep her son's name secret. Her son's name secret, but revealed is happy. Okay, so it's a boy. Because before they didn't even say the gender. So I guess they revealed it's a boy. It says here, my child is the most perfect thing that happened to me. I wouldn't change anything. Of course you wouldn't. Because even if Elon's not willing to give up any money now, that kid basically guarantees her life going forward, isn't it? this is probably the greatest example of hypergamy ever, really, isn't it? Definitely one of the greatest examples, because could it happen the other way around? Could it happen the other way around? Probably not, you know. It's, I don't know, because women online, like people online in general, talk a lot of shit, but then in real life do the opposite. But people online always say, even guys are like, "Oh, I'm the prize," like as if they want like women of a certain caliber. But then in actual life, in real life, in practice, they do the opposite. Because you would never think Elon would be into a girl like this, but he is. You know? Like, she doesn't, you know, like, she's what, 26 or something? She's basically what, like an edgelord on social media? She works for the Babylon Bee? Like, I mean, it's not really, she hasn't really achieved that much, really. So you'd imagine he'd be up for somebody else, but I guess that's kind of what happens in life. Who knows? It continues. My child is the most perfect thing. St. Clair broke the internet on Friday. Another picture of her sitting on the windowsill of her apartment in Manhattan, overlooking New York. Pretty swanky, to be fair, I'm not going to lie. The apartment looks pretty nice. But then I guess this is the reality of these sort of situations. A lot of women say, "Oh, I don't mind settling down. I don't mind having a baby by some rich dude." But the reality of having a baby by a rich dude is that he might, you know, he might fucking shoot your club up, then duck, and have you hold up in an apartment. Really nice apartment, but you can't leave. You can't post pictures of the baby. You can't talk about the baby. Like, that's a real tough bargain. That's a real tough bargain. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not too sure about that one. Musk has not yet acknowledged the allegations, and his reps did not respond to multiple requests for comment by the Post. He has made numerous unrelated posts on X since the alleged lover made the announcement, however. It continues here, says a quote. It says, Ashley and Elon have been privately working towards the creation of an agreement about raising their child for some time. It's disappointing that the tabloid reporter who repeatedly ambushed Ashley and her family made it impossible to complete the process confidentially, her representative Brian Gliglick said in a statement. I'm of the theory, this is just my theory, I'm of the theory that there was no press hounding her to get this story out there. I'm of the theory that she leaked the story herself in an effort to get Elon's attention and to get him to respond. That's what I think. I could be wrong. That's what I think. It continues. We are waiting for Elon to publicly acknowledge his parental role for Ashley to end the unwarranted speculation, and Ashley trusts that Elon intends to finish their agreement quickly in the best interest of the well-being and security of their child they share. So Elon's hesitating to be put on child support. Elon's not responding to her messages. Fucking hilarious, man. Absolutely hilarious. You'd, like, if you're an American, you have to be a little bit worried, innit? This guy's playing an important or an integral role in government at the moment, and he's running around impregnating randoms, clearly not having his household in order, clearly maybe has his attention elsewhere, and he's out here trying to make some really big sweeping changes when it comes to the government and when it comes to fucking, you know, the economy or whatever else is going on in America. You have to be pretty worried if you live there. You have to be pretty worried, man. This guy's a bit reckless, it seems. It continues. The platform which Musk bought for $44 billion is where the two first crossed paths in May 2023. Musk was very funny. He was smart. He was very down to earth. It started with X interactions, and he slid into my DMs. I think it was a meme. So I guess after she posted that horny meme, possibly, he maybe slipped in and said, "Hey, yeah, I am horny, actually. Wanna fuck?" It continues. At the time, she didn't practically have much interest in Elon. Yeah, right. Other than the acquisition of Twitter, she first became aware of the billionaire thanks to her gay best friend, who frequently asks her to watch videos of Musk SpaceX rocket launches. And at one point he said, "Are you ever in San Francisco or Austin?" And I said, "I'm in Austin and Texas a good amount for work." Senka continued, adding that she worked for Babylon Bee, a conservative satirical website at the time. A short time later, the CEO, Seth Dillon, called St. Clair and asked her to fly to San Francisco in the next 48 hours, she claimed. Wow, didn't it? Elon didn't even set up the link. The CEO of what? Starlink? Of Neuralink called her and said, "Hey, jump on a jet. Or buy your own ticket. Come to Austin." Elon wants to blow your back out. That is fucking crazy. He doesn't even arrange his links. He's that rich. He doesn't even arrange his links. He gets his CEO to arrange his links for him. Not even an assistant. A CEO. Crazy. A short time later, there's a picture of her while she was pregnant, I guess. She actually looks better brunette, you know. I guess that's her natural color. She looks way better brunette than she does with dark hair, I'm not going to lie. It continues. St. Clair complied and claimed that she met Musk for the first time at Twitter headquarters. She was 24, he was 51. How much do you want to bet Elon fucked her in that HQ? Elon's a horny boy. Elon's a freaky boy. How much do you want to bet Elon fucked her on one of those desks in Twitter HQ? Maybe on the desk of some guy he recently fired. I think that's possible. After the interview, I got a text from him saying, feel like going to Providence, Rhode Island tonight? St. Clair continued. The alleged romance blossomed from there, she claimed, until she became pregnant. Yeah, of course. You let him bust inside of you with no birth control? What do you expect? She claimed that she was restricted from telling more than a close-knit circle of people that she was even carrying a child. But it still got out, by the way, because I think a bunch of people, Laura Loomer, Lauren Southern, a few other people, have said on social, even Milo, that they knew a year ago. People are saying. So she still yapped away. She kept it secret, but everyone within the conservative space knew that this was the case. I guess some people guess because of the interactions on social. Some people are also alleging that the other girl that Elon replies to a lot, the Tiffany Fong, some people are suggesting that she might be pregnant also now. So another baby. That'll be number 14. And 5 baby mothers. It continues. I was told to keep it secret. I was being asked to keep it a secret forever. Claims St. Clair declined to provide a reason for the confidentiality or material proof that Musk is the biological father. Like, she knows that he's the father. You know what I mean? He was probably the only guy that she was fucking. I hope it was anyway. You know what I mean? Don't be dumb to fucking fumble that bag. It continues. Musk allegedly provided her with a lavish apartment in a financial district where the rent for a 2-bedroom can soar to as nearly as $40,000, according to Street Easy, and a hefty security detail, but no romance, St. Clair claimed. That's a tough bargain, isn't it? You're gonna get a baby with a billionaire. You get looked after forever. You get an apartment. You won't ever see him again, and you get security. But that's it. Oof. Another one says, yeah, the young mother was allegedly forced to spend her pregnancy alone. I was completely isolated during my pregnancy. Every part of my career, everything I used to do, I couldn't do anymore. I was told not to tell anybody. Around the same time, her pregnancy, the influencer and author's Instagram went dark for months until she posted a photo from the President Trump's inauguration on January 2020th. And there's Elon there. Like, money does buy a lot of things, isn't it, man? Being successful is really important. Being successful at something is really important because Elon looks like that and has his way with women. He really does have his way. He has his way with the women. They allow him to, because you could just imagine how weird he is when he speaks and shit, how awkward he is and stuff, and how, you know, whatever. Could you imagine what he must sound like in the bedroom? Could you imagine what he must look like when he's going to Pound Town? You know? And women, you know, allow him to be on top of him and shit. So clearly, money does change things. Money and status and shit does definitely change things when it comes to dating. Who would have guessed it? Text views by the post between St. Clair and Gerard Birchall, Musk's money manager, appeared to show that she complied with the billionaire's wish to be left off the birth certificate to preserve privacy, security, and confidentiality. Jesus. That baby is probably happy when it finds out this later on in life, isn't it? Birchall, the CEO of Neuralink, which Musk co-founded, did not respond for a request or comment. Some Musk-obsessed fans apparently began speculating that she had given birth to Tesla's CEO baby. There was a cohort of very violent stalkers who started threatening my toddler. They would send me photos of him with blood that I would witness his blood splattering death and saying I was Elon's whore. She says, fighting back tears as she referred to her older child from a previous relationship. St. Clair emphasized that she was willing to stay silent because it would also protect her newborn privacy until a tabloid, which she declined to name, started snooping around. Her declining to name it means it doesn't exist. My theory that she put this story out there herself to get Elon's attention is holding weight so far. That's what led to her unleashing her shocking announcement on Friday, accusing the media of trying to do her and her baby harm. Yeah, so anyway, hopefully she sorts it out and she works it out. But I think if you're an American, you should be very worried that Elon, who's very close to, you know, who's basically in the White House essentially, an unelected, you know, government official, has also got this proclivity, it seems, to impregnate people, many people, in an attempt to repopulate the earth or just to satiate his needs. I'm not too sure. And it also, I think, is a bad indictment on his father. He's fathering of these children. I don't think he's a good father. It's impossible to be a good father to 13 kids between 4 women, especially if you're allegedly running. He can only be a good dad if he isn't running these companies that he says he's running. Then maybe he's a good dad. But if he's running these companies that he said he's running, it's impossible he's a good dad, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Of course, I know absolutely nothing.